The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Well, good morning to you here at 5 a.m. and happy 4th of July. I'm Chris Burton alongside Elena Rusk. We are in for Alex and Maddie today. And Elena, you're also filling in for Kevin, doing some double duty today. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Everybody just kind of taking a long weekend, and It's nice to be here. But unfortunately, it's a pretty rough news day.
It is a rough news day, but it's about to be a great weather day.
It is indeed. Yeah, that forecast looking fantastic. Yeah. And more on that in a minute. But we're going to begin this 4th of July with Kern's sober reality. A man facing felony charges after a suspected DUI crash in East Bakersfield. First responders called out to East 3rd Street near Clifton Street just before 2 yesterday afternoon. Bakersfield police officers say 24-year-old Jesse Prado was driving a gray truck when he allegedly swerved into a car at the intersection, hitting that car and a house. Then Prado reportedly tried to back away, slamming into a second house. Witnesses tell police he was doing donuts in 2 separate intersections before this wreck. Prado was arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence, and you can see officers in our video testing his sobriety. Prado facing charges of driving under the influence and felony vandalism. Fortunately, no one hurt in this incident.
And officers are reminding drivers they'll be out in full force throughout the 4th. CHP's maximum enforcement period started Friday night and it runs through the end of today, working to keep the roads safe from speeding cars and drunk drivers. CHP reports the agency has already arrested more than 600 people for impaired driving just this weekend alone. That number was reported less than 30 hours after the max enforcement period began. Making news around town this morning. To make sure our community is celebrating the 4th safely, our local fire departments have launched a new website that can be used to report illegal fireworks. The site is currently up and running, and you can find the link on our website, kget.com. First responders are also using new technology to crack down on illegal fireworks, including a 10-foot-long drone that can fly up to 3,000 feet in the air. Fire officials stress that residents should not be calling 911 to report illegal fireworks, that number should only be used for emergencies. Those wishing to turn over illegal fireworks can do so year-round at any county fire station, no questions asked. And a reminder, no fireworks of any kind are allowed in our mountain communities with that fire danger just so high this time of year.
Oh, so fun. The city of Shafter kicking off Independence Day celebrations a day early with their annual Shafter Chamber of Commerce's 3rd of July fireworks show happening over the high school grounds there. The event featuring much more than just the dazzling lights. They were offering food, vendors, music, games, and more.
I just love that people can still come together and enjoy life together. It's about being free.
Because I want to honor heroes who fight for us.
Oh, great interview there. Meantime, dozens of professional fireworks shows happening around Kern County over the weekend and more to come today. We have a full list of 4th of July events open to the public on our website, kget.com. Just click on the hot link section.
Your time now 5:05, and city officials say a 3-year-old child is dead after drowning in a pool in East Bakersfield. Emergency crews were called to Corazon Court near Brio Drive just before 5 p.m. Saturday. When they arrived, they rushed the child to a local hospital where that child later died. There's no word yet on what led up to the drowning, and the investigation is currently ongoing. Now, the annual Drowning and Submersion Report released by the Consumer Product Safety Commission shows drownings in children remain high across the United States. Drownings continue to be the leading cause of unintentional death among children ages 1 to 4 years old. According to the Safety Commission, child drownings account for nearly 400 deaths and almost 6,000 injuries per year. Of those reported drownings, 73% involve children younger than 5 years of age.
Now, this is just one of my worst fears, and of course that's why officials always urging parents and caregivers to be on the lookout. Refresh up on your water safety tips. That includes never leaving a child unattended in or near water, and always designate an adult water watcher who avoids all distractions and just focuses on the pool. In addition to pools and spas, this warning includes bathtubs, buckets, decorative ponds, and fountains. If you own a pool or a spa and you're having guests over, make sure that you install layers of barriers today to prevent children from accessing the water too easily. Homes can use door alarms, pool covers, self-latching devices on fence gates and doors that access the pools. You should learn how to perform CPR. You can refresh today with videos online for both children and adults. And finally, work on swimming. Teach your child how to swim, and if you don't know yet, there are lessons available across town.
Just so important. You know, I think the number is as little as 2 feet of water can be a drowning hazard. So important to especially keeping eyes on kids around water. And in your 17 News homicide tracker this morning, the Kern County Sheriff's Office is still looking for a suspect after an armed robbery turned deadly in Oildale. Deputies were called to Gravity Tobacco on Roberts Lane near Locust Street just before 5 yesterday. The gunman reportedly walked into the store and tried to rob it before opening fire. A man described to be in his mid-30s was hit by at least 1 bullet and died at the scene. No one else was hurt. First responders say the suspect is a man last seen driving away in a green sedan. Now, if you know anything about this shooting, you're encouraged to call the Sheriff's Office at 861-3110. You can also stay anonymous and call our Kern Secret Witness hotline. That number at the bottom of your screen, 322-4040.
All right, and a note for Bakersfield residents, trash collection will be delayed by a day all week due to the July 4th holiday today. The trash collection schedule will be pushed back by 1 day across the city. So if your trash is usually picked up on Monday, it will now be pushed to Tuesday. Tuesday trash pickup now moved to Wednesday. And then as we go into the rest of the week, regular collection hours will resume on Saturday. Now, here at home, as it is everywhere else, many people are noticing inflation at fireworks stands this year. There is a markup on everything from basic sparklers to extravagant pyrotechnics, but every purchase you make lights a fire under the fundraising efforts for dozens of Kern County nonprofits. For example, at the Bakersfield Power Booth in the Northwest, your extra dollars are helping the next generation of female athletes.
It's preparing them for high school, it's preparing them for college, and it's very competitive out there. These used to be 2 for $50 last year. Now they're 2 for $70.
Yeah, not their fault. Firework resellers in California required to partner with charities, athletic groups, youth organizations, and service clubs. Those organizations do stand to make thousands of much-needed revenue, but it's hard with inflation.
And even safe and sane fireworks purchased from those booths can be dangerous. Local burn units expect a surge in patients over the 4th of July weekend, plus a surge in calls about mental health. Doctors at the Grossman Burn Center at Memorial Hospital say they see 5 times as many patients as usual around the 4th of July.
We will see dozens of burn injuries. Most common injuries are 2nd and 3rd degree burns to the hands, the face, and the feet.
Those doctors urge you to use safe and sane fireworks if you're celebrating at home. Take extra care around barbecues and grills because in addition to physical injuries, fireworks can take a toll on some mentally as well.
The 4th of July could increase feelings of anxiety, sadness, and fear for those who may have been impacted by trauma like PTSD or might have issues with loud noises.
And a reminder, if you're experiencing a mental health crisis, you can call the Kern Behavioral Health Crisis Hotline. That number, 1-800-991-5272.
And as we anticipate those fireworks shows tonight, it's important to keep our four-legged friends in mind. Hundreds of dogs escape every year on the 4th of July weekend, usually panicked by the loud sounds of fireworks, and they feel the need to flee. Now, getting your dogs microchipped and making sure they have collars with up-to-date information is essential in case they escape.
When they take off and run, typically the day after 4th of July, all the shelters are overwhelmed. People looking for a lost pet or someone bringing in a pet they found.
Now we know that this is last minute. Look at that kitten. That was our pet of the week. So if it's too late for you to get something for your dog, you can use a piece of tape on their collar to update your phone number, their address. Pet experts also say bring your dogs inside. Of course, turn on the TV or the radio to help wash out some of the sounds of those fireworks. And then here's a tip that I found from a veterinarian. She says give your pets some treats this morning, and then 2 hours prior to the anticipated fireworks, which is about 7 p.m. tonight, that helps calm them and associate it with good times.
Well, that's good, and that can maybe help them out in future fireworks shows to not be so afraid. That's wonderful. Your time now, 5:37. The Central High School track and field team was excited to do some summer fundraising. That is until someone broke into their trailer and stole the fireworks they were hoping to sell. Juanita Adame with our sister station in Fresno reports.
Cedric Pulliam, the track and field coach at Central High School in Fresno, said this was the trailer that their fireworks were stolen from.
Last Sunday around 3:30 to 3:15 to 3:30 we got our fireworks delivered to our booth, and we have a storage container that we put it into.
Not long after being delivered, Pulliam said someone broke into their storage unit using blowtorches to melt the locks on the doors.
In between Sunday afternoon and the next day 2 o'clock when I came back, somebody had broken into our C train and stole all of our fireworks, which is a total of $60,000 worth of fireworks stolen.
The thieves took 4 pallets full of fireworks. The track and field team had planned to sell them to raise money for their program.
All 100% of the money goes towards support our Central track and field team for our season, with buying, like uniforms, snacks for the meets, hotels, rooms for going out of town, things like that.
He said they decided to just get more and move forward in hopes of selling enough to just break even for the loss that they suffered.
This is the new fireworks that we have to reorder to sell. So now we're in the hole and have to pay for the ones that were stolen on top of the ones that we have now.
They're asking anyone with information to please come forward.
But right now we're just trying to, raise money for the kids. So it's kind of sad that there was still money for a program that helps kids.
And that was Juanita Adame reporting. Now, around the nation, a fireworks show in Wisconsin turned chaotic last night after 2 people in the crowd were hit by a vehicle. Police called out to the parking lot of a local supermarket just after 10 p.m. in Menomonee Falls. I should have read that before I tried to say that name. All right, following reports that an unknown number of people were struck there by a vehicle, authorities say people had gathered in the parking lot to watch a fireworks show. Several agencies responded to find the 2 people who had been hit had serious injuries.
Crash is under investigation. We are in contact with the driver who was in the vehicle. It seems to have been a tragic accident. And nothing more than that. But again, that's under investigation, and that information will have to be determined later.
Now, the driver of the vehicle did stay on the scene. Police say they believe that this crash was a tragic accident, and like they said, that investigation is underway.
5:40 your time now. A woman suspected in the fatal shooting of professional cyclist Mariah Wilson at an Austin home was arrested in Costa Rica last week. The U.S. Marshal Service says she was transported back to the United States on Saturday. Caitlin Marie Armstrong was arrested at a hostel on Santa Teresa Beach before arriving in Houston Saturday afternoon. Officials say she was picked up from the airport and taken to the Harris County Jail. Wilson was found dead May 11th, and on May 19th, Austin police issued a murder warrant for Armstrong. According to an affidavit, Wilson previously dated Armstrong's boyfriend, cyclist Colin Strickland. Strickland cooperated with investigators and is not a suspect. Armstrong will see a judge before being transferred to Austin. She's expected to face a murder charge. Now, Armstrong was on the run for more than 40 days. U.S. Marshal Susan Pamerlau noted that the major case status played a key role in her capture.
All right, well now Corporal Herschel Woody Williams is the last Medal of Honor recipient from World War II, and he was honored with a state memorial service in West Virginia on Sunday. Williams was part of an elite group, just 472 World War II veterans who received the military's highest decoration. He died last Wednesday at 98 years old, and his service was held at the State Culture Center Theater in Charleston. He was celebrated with inductory music by the Army National Guard Band, speeches from officials including West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin, and a special tribute from members of his family. Woody enlisted in the Marine Corps and served in the Battle of Iwo Jima. After serving for 20 years in the Marine Corps and its reserves, he retired and created the Woody Williams Foundation. That foundation has worked to install more than 100 Gold Star memorial monuments for families who have lost a loved one in service.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.